Namaste, soy Shivani, bienvenidos nuevamente a mi canal de divulgación de mantras en sánscrito, a toda la comunidad de habla hispana. Hoy de nuevo aquí en Boston con mi gran amiga Jill Jardine.
Namaste.
Y hoy vamos a entrevistarla sobre un tema muy controversial que es el Mercurio Retrógrado. Would you talk a little bit about what is Mercury retrograde and why do people fear it so much, or should we fear it, or should we take advantage of it?
Okay, well, Mercury is a fast-moving planet in astrology. It will move through a sign in almost a month, less than a month. And so what happens is it generally will move forward along the zodiacal trajectory, except for 3 times a year, it will appear to be what is called retrograde, which in the technicality of astrology, it goes backwards in degrees instead of forwards. And so what that happens, since Mercury is the planet of communication, is the planet of travel, it has a connection with technical devices or communication devices, that when it does appear to go retrograde, it will delay or create obstacles for these kind of activities. And common astrological lore is to not buy a car, which is a transportation device, which that's also what Mercury rules. If you know Mercury, right, a computer. Mercury was Hermes, the little winged messenger of the gods. And so if he's flying backwards, your message isn't going to get to its destiny. So that's also why computers, phone issues, car issues, if you need to buy a new computer or you need to buy a new communication device or a new vehicle, and I even say, go as far as most astrologers do, that don't sign any agreements or contracts either, because Mercury rules communication. And a lot of times I have a lot of realtor friends, as Shivani and others, and they always ask me, should I sign the sale contracts? And I try to say, if you can get away with doing it once Mercury is direct or before it goes retrograde, that's ideal, because sometimes whatever is signed in Mercury retrograde doesn't necessarily get sealed. So it's just a common astrological understanding.
Oh, so it's the signing of the contract, not the closing of the home,
right.
For instance.
Okay. It's more having to do with signing off on things.
Because I did close Friday, but it was when it went
direct. Yeah, I mean, they say to wait a little while after it goes direct, but it's better than when it is retrograde. So it's very good, though, for some things. Besides, it's not so good for delays in travel. It delays travel. It's not so good for communication and technicalities, working with technical things. Funny, I was supposed to be flying down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and thank goodness I'm psychic, because even before the storms got bad down there, I was like, I'm not going to be traveling. It's Mercury retrograde. Planes will be delayed. There could be weather problems. And lo and behold, they had the biggest flooding that they've had in 500 years. So you can make some predictions like that during Mercury retrograde and actually save yourself a lot of frustration.
Okay. What are the advantages, or what are the things that are good to do during Mercury retrograde?
That's a great question, Shivani. There's some excellent things you can do with Mercury retrograde, and that is anything to do with inner work. Mantras, meditation, any kind of self-help work is very good at that time. Any kind of body work, getting massages. Sometimes people's schedules can get messed up, and so if you have appointments or you keep an appointment calendar, things will pop in and things will pop out, and it may free up some time for yourself, in which case it's good to take that time for yourself, do some inner work, do your meditation, do your prayers, go sit at the beach and relax, go take a walk. It's very good for any kind of what we would call self-help work, or for any self-care.
And also, isn't it good to like get reorganized and like feng shui your place of work, or your place of
where outside details may not be coming together? You can take care of your home life. You can take care of organizing files. You can do anything that maybe you didn't have the time to do. And some people even believe that Mercury retrograde will slow down time, so you have the extra time. But we all know time is an illusion, and it's an agreed upon concept in order to make appointments and in order to be on the same schedule with others.
Great. And another thing is, what can we do besides the obvious thing that would be chanting to Mercury, in terms of using our tool in this channel, which is the Sanskrit mantras?
Oh, you know, the other good thing I was thinking about Mercury retrograde, some of us have such busy lives that we don't get to read much. Mercury rules written material. So reading books that you've wanted to be reading, books or anything that you want to read that you haven't been able to catch up on. So yes, we can chant the mantra to Mercury, the mantra to Vishnu, even Saraswati, who has and Lakshmi,
because it's Vishnu's consort.
That's right. And so
how can Mercury retrograde play in your finances, for instance?
Oh, it can wreak havoc. You can find that maybe checks that didn't go through, and it can set up bounce patterns in people's checking accounts. Monies that you're supposed to, that check in the mail may be in the mail the whole duration of Mercury retrograde. You may not get certain payments that are owed you, and some people may not have the money to make payments that they need to remit or submit. So it can wreak havoc with finances. Banks can, have issues and problems with their computers, and monies and payments may not make payment on time. But you can sit down with your own accounting and your own ledgers and really organize your own accounts during Mercury retrograde. It will help you to get things in order regarding your finances.
So it's a good time to do your taxes.
Yes, it is.
Very good.
Just don't submit them during Mercury retrograde.
Oh, okay. So you can prepare them during Mercury retrograde, but only wait till it goes back direct.
Or submit them before it goes. I'm not quite sure. We just came out of a cycle here in October 2015, and we're going to have 3 cycles of it in 2016. I believe late January into February, but I have to look at my ephemeris.
Okay, so what would you think would be a good mantra to chant during Mercury retrograde times? Because what I was thinking, you were talking about obstacles. It's obviously going to be great to chant to Ganesh.
Oh yes, definitely, because it will bring obstacles and delays, and Ganesh is the Lord of removing obstacles and delays. So maybe we should chant a Ganesh mantra. But you've done them all. You've done a lot of Ganesh mantras.
Yeah,
so.
I've done a lot of Ganesh mantras. So maybe a Vishnu mantra, because Vishnu rules Mercury.
Right. That sounds good.
Okay. All right. So
let's do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're going to attempt to do 54 times. If we feel like it, will do the 108. How does that sound?
We might do 108.
Okay, great. So let's go. Here we go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Have a blessed day. Tadastu.
Tadastu.